Alright, this is my first Destroyer commentary. So, in this game, I'm in The Sims. I'm divvied up with one of my friends in the CV. Fairly decent matchmaking. Not great, but not bad. And it's domination. Very Destroyer-light, this game, so I'm unlikely to be seeing too many Destroyers in the enemy team. First thing I'm going to do is just head straight to decap. Since there's only 2 DDs on the enemy team, I'm not too scared of getting double teamed, because it's very likely that one destroyer from the enemy team went to each cap, so I'll only have to face them 1 versus 1. I also have my CV for spotting, so I'm a lot more confident pushing into cap than I would be if I was playing solo, or if there were or if there were a lot of enemy DDs.
Enemy force detected.
First target up as a buy-in. I'm slowing down and I'm also getting ready to smoke because of the fighters. Because I really want to secure this cap early. I accidentally forgot to take defensive AA for this game, so unfortunately I really can't help my friendly carrier too much in the air war. So right there, I'm spotted. I'm going to smoke up. Fairly confident that there's no DD ready to torp my smoke. Not for a little while anyways, so. I'm just gonna shoot this buy-in for a little while. Unfortunately, not getting as many superstructure hits as I'd like. A lot of shatters, but the Byron has a very small, well, not that small, but a fairly small superstructure. Let's actually move out of smoke to take a bit more of an aggressive position. I know I'm going to go unspotted very soon, and both DDs on their side. So I definitely want to torp these 2 battleships that are pushing up the side. I hold on to my torps though, because I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. I like to hold on to my torps until I'm fairly certain an enemy has committed to a course. In this case, there's 2 battleships, the Tirpitz and the Scharnhorst, and they're both slowly pushing out, so I'm fairly confident I can land some torps on these guys. Even though these torps are just god-awful. They can go 49 knots, they don't do any damage whatsoever. They are sea mines, but with the way that these 2 are moving, I'm quite certain that this is a good use of torps. Since I'm going around the island, I'm going to go take a few cheeky-breaky shots at the Scharnhorst. It's 2 torps on the Scharn. And actually do get a fire, but he burns... Oh, wait, he doesn't burn DCP. Unfortunately, I'm unable to hit the Turpets. Looks like the Shrine Horse already blew damage con, so he's going to flood out. I make a small mistake here by getting spotted. I kind of forget, because I'm very, very used to playing Benson and Fletcher. I kind of forget that my I don't have the detection module, and my detection is, you know, slightly bigger than I'm used to, so to get spotted. Luckily for me, he didn't have his guns pointed at me. Also, me having the NC selected is I'm pretty sure is a UI bug. Otherwise, I wouldn't be landing hits against the Turpets if I had something else selected. Since he's just pointed bow in, and he's really not, you know, he's not in a position to maneuver away, because there's pressure coming from our friendly battleships, or high alpha pressure, meaning if he turns, he gets kind of obliterated. I know I can kind of just sit here. Unfortunately, I lose spotting on him, though. I'm fairly confident that he's just going to sit there still. So I'm going to move out to spot for our Leander, who is utilizing my smoke. Unfortunately, he moves out of my smoke, so that's kind of unfortunate. I kind of wanted him to stay in there, and I just spot for him. Their Turpets is reversing. I don't want to torp a reversing target because I'm fairly certain he's just going to go out of range. So what I am going to do, this North Carolina looks like he's pretty dedicated to his course, but I have a feeling he's going to turn in slightly and slow down. So I just torp torp to where I think he's going to go. I'm going to get 2 torpedoes, 1 flooding, which isn't always nice. I'm very tempted to wait 30 seconds and just open fire, but I don't really want to be trading my hit points in front of all these battleships, so I just, especially Turpets, and NC, they could easily crush me if they get lucky. Even though I'm fairly confident in dodging my shells, the game is close enough to the point where I really want to conserve my hit points. Turpets is moving behind the island, so I don't really have angles to torp him with his current path. He's moving to go around the other side. I'm fairly certain the Turpets is not committed to his path yet. Like I said, I only like torping targets that I know are committed to their paths. And I don't think he's going to stay that course for long. So those torps are just definitely going to miss. There's no really point in launching torps that just miss, if you know they're going to miss. It's because he's dueling another battleship. So he's going to, you know, point nose in and then angle out, point nose in and then angle out to get his guns on target, then rinse, repeat. I lose sight of him. I was right about to launch, but again, I feel like as soon as our... Yeah, see, that's why I didn't launch, because I'm fairly certain he wasn't going to stay committed to that course. So I'm hoping they just keep pushing up. And I want to get on their side and launch from there. I do think I hold on to my torps just a little bit too long. Because at this point I could have launched and already reloaded by now. Again, I just really like shooting torps I know have a very, very high probability of hit. So, my prediction is that the enemy Tirpitz is going to push. He's just going to push straight through the cap, and he's going to, I guess, go in the direction of my CV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that Tirpitz to try and commit to a course. Again, a replay bug. I have the Tirpitz locked, not the Legalasonier. Unfortunately, the Tirpitz does not do what I predict. He straight up just turns around. So that is very, very unfortunate. So now I want to deal with this North Carolina. I'm yelling at my carrier to, okay, bring a plane over. I'm going to smoke up in front of him and just HE spam his last 5,000 hit points down. That's my original plan. Or that's what I want my CV to do. But he says it's going to be a little while because he's having a tough time against their Saipan. Because, you know, Saipan's cancer. And even though I have 16,000 health, I really don't want to engage in North Carolina in the gunfight. It's just like, I kind of want to save my hit points because I know this is going to be a tough game. My launch torp's up where I think he's going to go. I think he's going to come around the corner. The Legalasonier is right there, so again, I want to... Alright, my carrier is bringing a dive bomber over, and he says the dive bomber is going to live. But right as I smoke, the dive bomber dies. I don't know if he got AA RNG'd or what. But this makes my smoke pretty much useless. I have to move out of it, which is not a huge fan of.
Engine boost activated.
So I basically just blow a smoke for nothing here. However, I do torp the NC, so that works out nicely.
Smoke screen set.
I originally did not think those torps were going to hit, so I was going to have to smoke up, and then my carrier's dive bomber would spot him while I just HE spammed him down. Getting in a gunfight with a cruiser is suboptimal given our current situation. I think I just want to Ninja Cap D. And I'm informed by my CV that all of our guys at sea are basically just dead meat. They are completely toast. So we will lose 2 ships. Their Tirpitz gets a Kraken. And I see Saipan torpedo planes fly off from that direction. So, funny enough, there's a Saipan. I think it's a lot more important to knock out the Saipan than the cap, because we get just a monumental amount of points. And I don't just stay in cap and shoot because I'm afraid the Saipan's just going to turn around, and then I won't be able to do as much damage to him. And I really just need to get this guy down as quickly as possible. Well, I feel like he's going to turn in a little bit, so... Here comes torpedo blades. He auto-drops me, which is really, really just not smart. It surprises me, I'm actually getting a fair bit of shatters against this Saipan. I thought I could get through, oh, it's got quite the torpedo belt too. Not quite sure why I'm shattering. I thought my HE could do damage to a Saipan anywhere. I guess I was wrong, so I just switched over to the AP. I'm really not scared of getting close in with the Saipan because, it doesn't really have any secondaries, so it's just like, whatever. Saipan's toast.
Enemy aircraft carrier sunk.
And now I'm going to cap D to secure our win. This was a really weird game in that there really weren't too many, or I basically just didn't see an enemy DD the whole game.
Engine booster
Um,
activated.
so this was definitely an unusual game for The Sims. At the same time, it demonstrates that even though the torpedoes on paper are just complete garbage, they can really do some good work. Um, because they have quite good range for USN torps, um, and they also reload pretty quickly. I'm actually going to do something a little bit cheeky here. I have dead flag mounted, so I'm not, too worried about detonating. So that Turpitz is just right there. I do want to shoot him a few times as I'm moving into cap. Oh, and I dodge right into one of his secondary shells. Oh, 3 shadows. Feels bad. No, there we go. A little bit of damage. Nice little extra damage at the end. If I cap or don't cap, it ends the same way, but I'm just kind of lazy at this point, so I was just like, fuck it. I'll cap D. Besides, I'm training up new American captain, so, cap XP is nice. Yeah, this was a very unusual Sims game, but I think it demonstrates that the Sim actually is a somewhat viable torpedo boat, on top of being a very, very good gunboat. So, there you have it, the Sims. It's a good hybrid.